Alright, this week on Countdown to Duberville, we're talking about everybody's favorite subject and the one I get the most questions about. We're talking about food, dieting, supplements a little bit. So first, get a giant eagle, do a little bit of grocery shopping for myself, and I'll be back with a few tips for you on your diet plan. Alright, this week we're talking about food and diets, but before I get into a few diet plans, I want you to read this disclaimer. Alright, we got that out of the way. There is probably hundreds of diets, whether you want to go with the carnivore, omnivore, paleo, vertical, whole foods, you name it, they're out there. My favorite being, as you probably all know, is the seafood diet. It's the easiest to follow because you seafood and you eat it. But I don't want to break down all the diets. You can do your research on your own, find one that works for you. My biggest thing is if you're going to stick to it, try to stay as close as you can to it, give it a chance. Don't do a diet for 2 weeks and say it's not working. You know, you need to commit to it for a good period of time to see if it works. But now I'm going to give you just a few tips that I've learned that might help with your food. Alright, tidbit number 1, counting calories. There's lots of apps you can use on your phone to help count your calories. Now, I'm not telling you to count every calorie, weigh your food. I don't think we need to get that crazy at first. Get an idea what your calories are for a couple of days. Do it for 4 or 5 days. Get an average, look at your macros, look at your calories. Chances are, I'm going to bet you're not eating enough. I know I wasn't. Before Worlds last year, I did it. I was taking like 2,700 calories a day when I should be getting 4,000 or 5,000 easily. So, like I said, just use an app. Get an idea, and then you can play with the numbers from there. Same with your macros. Look at your protein intake. They say 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound. I go by lean body weight, not overall. But for me, that's still looking at 300 some grams of protein a day, which is a lot to get if you're eating clean. That's where like some supplements come in handy. But yeah, just count your calories, get an idea. I bet you're not eating enough. All right, tidbit number 2. I recommend getting blood work. I get blood work anyway for what I do, but through the vertical diet with Stan Efforting, if you do some research on that, he recommends blood work. Look at deficiencies. You can look at your micro numbers instead of just your macros, your protein, your carbs, and your fat. You can look at your micros, which is going to be your magnesium, your zinc levels. It helps you find if you have a deficiency in your health, in your blood. A lot of times you can fix that through food. You don't have to go buy the supplements. You can find different foods. So what he recommends is if you're lacking in something, fix it through food. Your body absorbs the food better. So get blood work done. It doesn't cost a lot. You can just get your basic blood work done, ask for a better write-up. For most of the guys out there, get your test levels checked. You'll be surprised at how much having your testosterone levels where they're supposed to be will improve you in the gym and just in everything else. Do some blood work, get your test levels checked, try to fix your problems through food before you start going to supplements. Okay, the final little tidbit, number 3, is going to be cutting weight. Obviously, I don't cut weight, super heavy, we don't cut weight. But one time, a long time ago, I was a 275er, and I weighed like 268 when I competed in that range, so I didn't have to cut. When you're starting Strongman, I don't recommend trying to cut down to make a weight class. Compete at what you walk around at. If you're in like, so let's say 242 for example, if you walk around 245, yeah, try to cut to 242 for weight. If you can weigh in the day before, don't eat the night before, take a good shit in the morning, do what you gotta do, but don't kill yourself. Don't try to drop 15, 20 pounds in a week or two prior to a competition. Yeah, the weights might be lighter for you, but you're gonna be sluggish, you're not gonna have your strength, you're not gonna have your energy. You're better off competing at what you walk around at. When you get to the next level, if you're trying to make weight class, if you're trying to make something for nationals, for worlds, qualify for something, then you have to play with cutting. But when you first start, compete at what you weigh in. If it's a few pounds, yeah, by all means try to cut them few pounds. But other than that, please don't go on a crash diet and try to drop 20 pounds before competition and think you can perform at your best. You're better off going in, performing at your weight, do better. That way you'll feel stronger, you'll feel more accomplished, and you might surprise yourself hitting them bigger numbers on the weight. Don't be afraid of the weights, but just compete at what you weigh. And we get a little further on in the game, you can cut down. But my advice is don't cut. All right, last tip for this week on talking about food and food prep and supplements is meal planning. The reason I have to pack such a big lunch bag, I go to town for work, so I'll be gone for a day and a half. So I make all my food, take it with me. That way I don't go to eat junk food when I'm out. If you live at home and have a normal job, or you get to sleep in your own bed every night and cook your own meals, meal prep is still something you can do. Make a bunch of stuff at one time, pack it up in Tupperware, pack it up in portions. That way it's just easier for you to eat. If you sit there and spend a whole day cooking and have all your stuff done, it's a lot easier to stay on track with your eating when it's already pre-made for you. So that's my last tip for this week. Okay, so there's a little look at my supplement cabinet. Supplements are something else. A lot of people want to jump into it and buy all the stuff. There's two trains of thought. Some people think supplements are a waste of money. Some people swear by them. I fall in the middle. We talked a little earlier about your blood work and having deficiencies. Almost all of us in the Northeast are going to have a vitamin D deficiency. I take vitamin D. It's hard to get vitamin D through food. I used to take magnesium and zinc stuff, but you can get that through red meat. I do take fish oil, and I do take glucosamine. It just helps with my joints. Trial and error, try things out. Protein is another one. We almost all take protein. Like I said earlier, when you're looking to get 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per lean body pound, that's really hard to get through food. So protein supplements, throw a shake in the morning, throw a shake in after your workout. Easy way to add 20, 30, 40 grams of protein to up your protein intake. Pre-workouts, BCAAs, wow, I take those also. Obviously, Vaccine Labs, I'm affiliated with them, so I use most of their products. Not only do I like them, but like I said, they help me out, sponsor my shirts and stuff like that. But great company. If you're looking for something, you can go to Vaccine Labs. The pre-workouts are one thing. Some people swear by them also. I take them when I need them. Some people just take caffeine pills. Some people a 5 Energy or Red Bull before they work out. Whatever works for you. Taking the BCAAs, which is just branched-chain amino acids. I take them. It flavors my water. I usually drink a gallon of water when I work out. It flavors the water. It gives me a little extra that I need to help with my recovery and get through my workouts. As you've seen, I do take some other stuff. Vaccine Labs, once again, 3 Wise Men, supplement stack, test boosters. I've experimented with a little bit of everything. And my biggest thing is you don't need to go out and spend a shitload of money on supplements when you first start. Eat clean. Try to get your stuff through. That's my best advice to people is if you eat clean, take some protein. If you want a pre-workout, you can experiment, but there's no need to go out there and buy a ton of stuff when you first start. But as you advance, it is good to try, see what works for you, see what works for other people. Talk to people that you compete against, talk to people in the industry, and they'll give you advice. A ton of stuff on the internet. But that's my advice on supplements and food. We touched a few topics today. If you have any questions, as always, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything like that, on YouTube, obviously. And feel free to ask me any questions. I'll help you any chance I can get. 10 weeks of Duberville. Next week, we're talking about gear, straps, wraps, belts. So stay tuned. As always, like, subscribe, share. Be back with you next week.